あとはドリームキャストの発売を待つばかりだ。
セガタ三四郎は君たちの心に。真剣遊戯セガサターン。
Again. What's up, everybody? Twin Family back at you, and we're going to do some work today. We've got this Dreamcast, and we're going to do a complete mode install. We're just not going to do the not to a fan because I got to figure out a few things with that because I don't know exactly what case I have. So we got this Dreamcast. Looks in fairly decent shape. It's a launch model from August of '99. And the modem's right here, by the way. Getting it ready to go. Works okay. It's just the disk drive is starting to... it works. It's just... And, you know, I guess I'm not used to... I guess using the mode... not used to cracking. You know, that noise. So, yeah. So, we got the Dreamcast. We got the hard drive. We've got the mode. And we have a case. This is a clear shell for the Dreamcast. By the way, you have to use the actual system screws. It doesn't come with screws at all, as you can clearly see. But the brackets are in, so that's good. And the reason why I said I'm not sure is because I don't know exactly what kind of mounts I have to work with. Because apparently there's two different versions of this. And of course the modem needs to be done too. So that's going to be fun. But first we're going to worry about the Dreamcast. Now I also, why it took so long, is because I also got the mount from Laser Bear. So we're going to put all of this in. And of course there's screws under here for whatever reason. Hopefully we'll find out why. And I want to make sure this is still recording, because when I did one previous, it wasn't. So I have it fully charged. I have all the memory free. I have no notifications going on. So let's hope this actually works out better. All right. So we're going to use our trusty ice cube tray to separate the screws. First of all. And I'm also going to start the Saturn today. So the only thing that would really need to be done with the Saturn is the shell, which that's coming in later this month. Getting it from Game Tech. Now, one thing I don't understand, I can understand, you know, doing the Saturn shells because he's the only person that does them. Because originally I ordered a Code Veronica shell, and he said only the Saturn one would probably make it by Christmas, and he knew for a fact that the Dreamcast shell would not. And that's kind of a problem. So number one, I'm already late doing this, and number two, this is basically a Christmas present to myself, as I had to get rid of these systems originally to get the money for the Xbox Series X. So when I had the chance to redo them, I wanted to redo it correctly with the full bracket, with new shells, everything. And that was a pain in the butt to get him to refund me that. And he was like, oh, well, I already sent the money out. And I was like, for what? You know, you're supposed to have them in stock. You know, you didn't say it was a custom build or not. And that's a whole... And by the way, moral of the story is this. It's hard to trust someone when they talk about themselves in the third person. So, I don't know who he thought he was, The Rock or what, but I just thought that would be a little weird. Let me check this fan. This fan looks good, so we're going to reuse that for right now. I did have another fan ready to go. And you're not going to fully see... I'm going to do an update after this is over, because I'm going to be taking the system down to digital press and have the self-healing cap put in, as well as coin slot and a new LED, because since we have a crystal shell, might as well go for a blue. Try to get this fan out. There we go. Got the fan out. These are fun. It's like the good old days. I used to take these apart all the time. By the way, you can tell this is a launch system. Let me see if it's focusing in on it. Oh, I have to put it a little higher. Okay. So I'm doing this in real time. It's still got the 6-pin power supply, where later systems I think had 5 pins. So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna unscrew the power, because we need to unscrew to the bare board, because we're going to be doing a shell transplant. Okay. Put the handy dandy ice cube tray. Get some stuff left over from another installation. I should get used to cleaning this shit out when I actually finish jobs, but duty called, I guess. There should be 2 screws in the power supply, because I also got the mount for the Saturn, as well as this special board that Mobius made, so I'll be showing you that as well. These are for the power supply, because I have to reuse all of the screws. This that comes with none, so gotta really keep track of those screws. All right, so this is the power board, and got this little plastic on your cable. Okay, now see what I should tackle next. Probably this controller mount. Trying to actually leave one part of that installed. I forgot I need to do all 4. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to move it around so I can at least get a good camera view, because I can't preview it. These things are a bitch. Let's see here. By the way, you know what I was watching last night? It's basically become required viewing for anyone who's in the LGBTQ umbrella. Happiest Season. And Jesus, okay, I know it could come out. It's unscrewed. So what the hell is blocking it? Unless one of the screws didn't unscrew all the way. Let me try to... Okay, so 2 of the screws undid right, but not one. Not this pain in the ass. So anyway, the opinions on that movie, Jesus Christ. A lot of people defending that poor girl. It's like, well, clearly you didn't deal with hatred and internalized homophobia. I'm like, yes, I have. I've dealt with that shit for years. There we go. It's one of those things where, what the hell's that noise? Is that supposed to be a fucking car alarm? If so, it's not doing a very good job. It makes me more want to steal that car than anything else. So we're gonna keep the drive screws, by the way. But yeah, everybody's like sitting there defending Harper. I don't know why. It's like, I understand the whole keeping up appearances, not being out to the parents and all that shit, but at the end of the day, she still hurt that poor girl. I mean, Abby literally had to threaten to leave for her to have a come to God moment. Like, holy shit, maybe I should say something. And it's like, you shouldn't come to that. If you really love someone, you shouldn't put them through that hurt. I don't care what you know, where you're at. It's not worth it. So we're going to put this to the side, because I'm going to be sending that to digital press. Because you could always have a good, it's always good to have a backup. So we're going to fully remove this board, because as like I said, we're going to be transplanting it into the new case. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that she should have went with Riley, because Riley seems suspect to me too. Like, she has her own intentions. But when John showed up to take Abby home, she should have fucking went. Like, you know what? This is ridiculous. Believe me, I've been in situations like that. You know, being with a bisexual partner, going to the parents' house for a holiday. That was lovely. A lovely experience, mind you, that I would never want to revisit again. And I'm like Abby, I don't really like Christmas too much. I mean, I'll get into the spirit and all that shit, but it's still a lot of negative memories for me, personally. So, I guess I see more of Abby's viewpoint on a lot of stuff, because I basically was Abby. So I know exactly what she's going through. Oh, this is a bitch. I think I got it. Wait, do I have it? Oh, no, I don't. Come on. Is it the screw or is it this shit? Yeah, it was that shit. Okay. It was the shielding underneath. We should be okay now. So we're going to pull that to the side. So here we have a old Dreamcast shell that we'll no longer be needing. Okay, that does come with a new one of these. All right. Now it falls over. Don't know what that's for. Let me put it to the side. So now it's time to populate this. Just make sure we're still recording. Yes, we are. I'm doing this by myself today. So first of all, we need to take off the modem. We're going to do the modem first. That doesn't seem too painful. So I would recommend a viewing of that movie. but just know that it could be triggering, especially if you've dealt with that shit in the past. So let me do something real quick. Okay, so I am in view of the camera. Good. I've never seen that sticker on here. Use Dreamcast HKT series only. I wonder what for. I've never seen that before. I've never even taken apart a modem before. I never had to. Seems pretty straightforward. And it is. Okay, let's try putting this fucking thing in here. So I've heard people say that shells are a little more work than they should be, but of course. Is there a way to take this bottom shell off? Or at least, because this is... Is there a way to like pop it in, or how does this work? Because it's loose. The shell's the shielding is loose. So you would assume, hey, you know, it wants to come out. Some tells me the modem's going to be the more challenging part. Because of how brittle the plastic could be on here. I don't want to really screw with it too much. Because see, this isn't lining up. This shielding is cracking. Like, you could tell like the bottom part is getting in there, but not the top part. And especially with aluminum, how aluminum is. See, it's already starting to tear apart at it. Wait a minute. I think I may have it. I think I have it. Let's screw it in just to find out. And a bad time for it to be magnetized. You really have to push that in. It's going in. Feels like almost like when they drilled for the screw holes, they didn't, how to explain it? Okay, so it looks like it went in. Seems a little off. Trying to figure out why. Seems like it's bent a little bit. I mean, you can tell it's in. Must have to. I don't really give a shit about the modem too much. And it's this fucking shielding that's doing that. Oh, best I can get it. Alright, so this is the bottom of the board. Let's start populating this up. I'm trying to separate the two. Okay, that's done. Here we go. So you gotta try to fit it with the, so where the serial port goes in. It's almost like they made this a little smaller. So let me get these. Try to get these screws out so I can have an easier time of fitting it in. Got it in. Yep, I did. Okay. What's that hard part? That's why it's good to have a magnetized screwdriver. When it wants to work, of course. Okie dokie. Just hoping this is all going to be worth it. And it's going to look good. By the way, being this is, as I'm recording this, anyway, the start of the holiday season, I want to extend my condolences to everyone working retail around this time of the year. I mean, it's bad enough you have to deal with COVID, and now you got to deal with all that goddamn Christmas music. Ugh, that's the worst. The worst. And they don't shut the fuck up either. Like, you work like 8 to 12 hours in a fucking store. And it's always the same shit, too. It's always like, I mean, you learn, I mean, I grew up with Mariah Carey. You know, I'm a 90s kid. I'm a late 80s, early 90s kid. And you grew up with Mariah Carey. And you learn to hate her after the Christmas season. Like, Jesus, shut up. I want nothing for Christmas. What I want for Christmas is for you to shut the fuck up. You know? Like, damn. I don't want a lot for Christmas either, but all I want for Christmas is for you to shut the fuck up. Hey, how about that? Let me try to dry fit this fucking thing in. Okay, so it still uses the same mount as normal. those aside. Okay. I think the controller is next. Let me just pull this out. Its package. So at least we don't have to worry about those stupid feet anymore. Thank God. Seems like they changed a couple things on this board. They have this little piece of tape on there now. It's this way I don't use the 20 pin by accident. Of course, I don't have to worry about that shit. And seems like the external power is a different button. I mean, a different color. We'll put this in the anti-static bag. Okay. Let me see how we did this mount. So I'm pretty sure you have to, there's screws that I have to undo to disconnect the two parts. I want to be careful with that. Okay. Oh, this is a really long ass screw. Whoa! Good Lord. That's a long one. I'm not trying to be no Voltar. Make innuendos every 5 minutes. Look, I like the guy. You know, he's brilliant at what he does, and you know, that works with some people, but for me it doesn't. I mean, he's not, but I'd still rather do it a Voltar than a Metal Jesus, who I'm sure at one point that dude has had to have touched a kid inappropriately. I'm sorry. You know, he looks like the kind of guy, especially like you look at younger pictures of him, looks like the type of guy who has a sign that says free candy. Goes around to all the neighborhoods. Hey, little Billy, I got candy for you. You want some? I think this is the Dreamcast mount. Yeah, these are some really long screws that Laser Bear put in here. Okay, that is the same size. I mean, I figured when he was going to, when I bought the assembled mount, and I figured it would just be assembled as in the SD card part. I didn't realize he would be assembling the entire damn thing, because you still need to take it apart in order to put the mode in between. So it's two parts like this. I'm trying to get the damn screws out of here. There we go. So this goes into the SD of the mode. Got your little buttons right here. That actually, they're long. How it works is they're long buttons, and they correspond with these two buttons on the mode right here. So if you need to figure out, okay, which way it goes, now you know. Okay, so let me figure out how the fuck he did this. I'm guessing. Okay, so, oh, all right, I see how he did it. Alrighty. Okay, where's the disk drive screws? I think these are it. Let me just cross-reference my Dreamcast. Yep, so they go to where, if you take a look, I'm trying to hold so I don't break it. These screw holes go right where the mounting points were for the disk drive. So okay, so this is the Dreamcast version. I should have gotten it done in different colors so I know, okay, which one's which, but I didn't. And I'm assuming, yeah, these are replacement screws. He did say that they weren't the same size. They were a little like bigger or something, but for safety's sake, I'm going to be reusing the original disk drive screws. Because he does recommend that if you do have them, to reuse them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be reusing the original disk drive screws. That's why it's good to do a fresh install. Okay. I guess the mode is sandwiched in between. Okay, so that pin goes down there. Clever. I wonder what the, I'm hoping anyway, because if you get the one for the PlayStation, like I have on order, they said that it's going to come with a kit. So here's to hoping that Laser Bear did the custom mount for that too, because he always does such good work. All right, so the mode goes in like this. This is the Dreamcast ZIF connector. And it should go up here like so. And then, I don't know if you could see it, but see what these screw holes in the mount are where the board goes. Like the board goes right here, and there's, it's supposed to go here, but it's not like lined up. Let me see if I can maybe fix that. Unless there was an issue with the 3D printing. But every other screw hole lines up, so make an executive decision, you know. Okay, so we're gonna put the hard drive in like that. We're not gonna worry about the about screwing the hard drive in, because I mean, after the bracket's in, it should be fitting just fine. And also, you will need to take the hard drive out every now and again to update the database. I still don't know why Terraonion hasn't allowed a, because the SD and, because, well, there's a conflict with the USB and the hard drive, which is why when you have a hard drive in, this is covered. There's no conflict with SD. So I don't know if I ever emailed Terraonion or not, but I definitely want to see if Terraonion can eventually have it where you can update the database via an SD card, where you can use the SD card to write to the hard drive and update the database that way, because it'll be much more convenient. All right, so we're gonna do this real quick. Needs to go in like that. Okay. See if I can fit this in. And I should be able to. I think this one's the smaller one. So let's trying to hold it in this way I can actually screw everything in. So I can't even, and it's not loose, so it's got to be going in. So that's the problem at times with 3D printed material. There are times where the print is imperfect. It's not on Laser Bear or anyone. That's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. This is how 3D printing works. I could see some people sitting there going, oh, what the fuck, it doesn't fit. Sometimes with 3D printing, you have to make it fit. Okay, that seems to be secure. This is the real challenge. Seems to have... seems to be going in, so I think we're good. I think we're gonna make it. Ooh, you tell I'm getting old because damn, it's quite a workout getting this in. So this one should hopefully screw right in place. And there we are. See, the hard drive ain't going nowhere. It is caged in there, baby. And this is the final mode. So now we're gonna pop the controller ports back in now. Attempt. Because the controller ports in this thing are a pain in the ass. Even if we weren't putting it in a new shell. Of course. Just one second. Hope I did. Because worst come to worst, it'll be fixed tomorrow. You know? I'm not too worried. Oh, come on. It seems to match up right now. Okay. Of course. Trying to, there we go. Oh, brother. This is the biggest, like, pain in the ass to me, is the Dreamcast controller port. Not just because of the battery. Either. Because the power supply is fine. You figure out how the power supply works, you're golden. Probably the easiest thing to take out. Oh, The disk drive's actually the easiest, but power second easiest, but the controller port's a bitch. And there's the fatigue. Sometimes it's sitting on a hard chair for a while. I know some people, they use drills. I just can't. I'm gonna move over because I'm too afraid of the drill actually crushing the board. And I've seen that happen. Hasn't happened to me because I refuse to use a drill. But nevertheless, it's happened. People, they use one of those electric screwdrivers on their system. Is, I don't know why I bore a hole into my system, my circuit board. Well, it's not really meant for that. Contrary to popular belief, circuit boards are delicate. Okay, so now to plug in the fan. Because this looks like the standard Dreamcast fan mount. Because the reason why I didn't do the knock to a fan yet is because there's two different mounts. Apparently there's cases from Venezuela with a different kind of fan mount that needs to be printed up. And there's the one case like this that uses the standard Dreamcast fan mount. So I didn't know what I was going to get into until it actually came and the installation needed to be done. So just okay. Now I think we should do the power. And so I'm gonna mount the power switch first. One thing that sucks about aftermarket shells, it's not drilled in all the way, because it's basically copying. I mean, the original shell's no problem because, you know, it's already there, but this one you really have to bore into it. Okay, that's in. Can't you tell, like, the screw's actually in there? It's pretty cool. We're gonna put this plastic thing back. Is it gonna be okay? I hope. This part of the mount is under that plastic. Okay. Oh shit! I don't want to Let me make sure it didn't. Kind of, that's fine. Should be fine. Should be okay. I don't think I broke anything. It's a really tight fit though, so I gotta really try to get this thing in here. Look at that. There we go. All right. Okay. We're almost done. I can breathe a little easier now. Oh, Lord. This is nerve-wracking. Especially since it's the first time I've really done something like this. It won't be the last, because I got to do the Saturn when I finally get that in. Okay, this looks done. Now for the biggest. Oh wow, it actually fit the first time. Except for, wait a minute, spoke too soon. Unless this has to be screwed in, and then it'll fit. Okay, that's tight. System screws. Because it seems also like a lighter plastic too. Okay. My hand slipped. And this one finally. Yeah, because none of these shells are going to be like 100% accurate. Because you have to make it from a mold. Unless Sega wants to start giving you up the mold, it's not going to be accurate. Not by a long shot. So the only thing that sucks, I'll see if I can have a look at that tomorrow, is this isn't fully flush. But like I said, I really don't use the modem too much. So I really don't care about that. Overall, I think it looks good. And there's the mount for the mode. So this is done. Okay, we got the Dreamcast all hooked up. The work has been done. Got a new battery, a new LED light, and the self-healing fuse. So let's power this thing on. Look at that. Beautiful, ain't it? See, it does light up. It's just the clear takes away from it. Because Leonard at Digital Press is like, oh, I don't know why it doesn't glow through the... I'm like, I know exactly why it doesn't glow through, because you can see it's glowing right now. And there's the mode. Didn't have to set it because it was set already. But let's take a whirl of this. I didn't know it was updated. Let's see, because it shouldn't be yet. No, it's not. I don't think so anyway. Let me see here. Game list mode. We want covers. And we're gonna scan the current folder. Because for the Dreamcast, you actually get a Dreamcast, you actually get a what the hell is like a percentage. With the Saturn, it just shows up like, ah, here it is. So we're gonna test the game here real quick. As soon as this gets done loading. By the way, you see the disk access light actually working, which is fantastic. Especially with the clear case, because the Dreamcast technically never had a disk access light. I hate this fucking... I hate these triggers. Let's run Sonic Adventure, and it should boot up. One of these days I should get the BIOS done, at least the BIOS animation done, to match the system. And as you can see, the disc light is going. So it's reading from the disc, which is fantastic. Sorry, my finger was there.
Select a file. Select a character. Let's get him!
And there it is. Everything is working. Everything's on the up and up. Perfecto.
This is the day you have trained for. The day you have studied for. Utilize your superior skills. Your superior intelligence.
Sit down, rodent!
Sarah, baby! Oh, you were one fly.
Don't make me hurt you.
Learn to defeat your ruthless enemy, Steve of Hackensack.
Ryan, you're gonna get roofed.
Shut up, quadruped.